I'm going to go after Mr. Henman for a second, because I think it was a mistake by Wimbledon to do what they did in the first place. You know, kicking out the Russians and Belarusians. I don't know how they came up with the Belarusians, too, but that's a whole other story. But, you know, and then it's, in my opinion, compounded by the fact that now the ATP and the WTA say there are no points. I don't see how that helps the players. If the players really believe that the Wimbledon had made a big mistake by not allowing the Russian and Belarusian players to play, in my opinion, they should have boycotted the tournament.
Just like in 1973 when Nikola Pilic was not allowed to play.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. And then, by the way, Mr. Henman, we could get into, we could share players' profit sharing. How about 50-50 with the All England Club, now that we're on the subject of that?
Yeah,
or
so
is that
John,
for another day?
No, it's not. I think look, you know, the reality of this situation for the championships, for the players, for the tours, you know, there's no winners. And I feel enormous sympathy for the Russians and the Belarusian players that cannot play. When you go through the circumstances that are presented for Wimbledon, you know, the directive from the government is that the players are not allowed to play as neutral athletes, as has been on the as the tour as is now. So the question in return is, are Wimbledon expected to turn around, given their, you know, their status in the UK? Are they expected to turn around and say to the government, actually, we think we know better than you, the government, so we're going to do something different? The reality of that is not going to happen.
Absolutely right.
That's unfortunately,
I would absolutely do that.
That's not going to happen, John. So then the next question is, are you going to get the players to sign a declaration against the government in Russia and the war and the regime? I think most of us would understand.
I'm ready to answer that. I'm ready to answer that. And if you were a Russian player or a Belarusian player, and your parents lived in Russia, and you had family there and relatives, and they have a new law that says they could spend 15 years in prison if they say that there's even a war going on, or that anything negative about what's happening right now, would you, if you were Daniel Medvedev, say anything? Or Andrei Rublev? Or Victoria Azarenka? Or Ariana Sabalenka? I mean, they're in a hell of a bind, aren't they?
Absolutely. And
so go ahead.
And so so very much the stance from Wimbledon is there's no way that they're going to jeopardise the safety of players and their extended family. That's before you talk about the propaganda of a Russian or a Belarusian receiving a trophy on centre court, potentially in the second week of Wimbledon. So your first two options from Wimbledon's point of view are horrific, and your third option is that you don't invite the Russian and Belarusian players. And that's the point I'm trying to make. They're horrific decisions whichever way you turn, and that's not much fun to be a part of.
Well, it sounds like a lose-lose for everybody.
That's it.
It's inspiring for all you guys out there that want to do something and want to be the best that you can be. Just never give up, because you never know what can happen. You never know who you can inspire and who you can influence.